Hey everybody, hope things are going good in your neck of the woods. If you're new around here, my name is Sheldon Thomas, and this is the S&S Horseshoeing YouTube channel. I'm a horseshoer and a vet student up in Eastern Washington. Today we're going to be working in a vet clinic, and we're going to be taking care of this nice quarter horse mare that was bred for barrel racing. She came here today for a second opinion as a follow-up to a previous surgery she's had on this foot I'm working on right now. And believe it or not, she actually had a keratoma in this foot. And for those of you that follow the channel around here, we're all too familiar with keratomas. If you're new around here, there's a horse named Pinto Bean we've been working on. I'll put a link to his video here. I've got kind of a playlist. If you go over to my channel, you can see a playlist of all the videos of Pinto Bean we've done. He's recovering from a keratoma surgery himself. Okay, back to this horse. So this horse had keratoma surgery at a different vet clinic, and it all went good. They got it all healed up. But then once she went back to work, she was still having problems with lameness. So they brought her here, hoping to, like I said, get a second opinion. And so after doing some diagnostics, the vets found that she had some changes to her navicular bone, which could also be causing the lameness. And the owner and the veterinarians decided to try to open this up because it was still kind of looking funny in this, where the old scar was from the keratoma surgery. They decided to open it up a little bit and see if there was anything fishy going on there, or if the lameness was more from the navicular changes. They opened it up, went looking around, decided everything looked pretty good, and so they're having me put a shoe on it today. We're gonna put some clips on it, roll the toe, and put a bar shoe. And actually using a bar shoe and rolling the toe is actually something we do for navicular disease anyway, so we decided that would be a good idea. Okay, as I'm finishing up my trim here, you'll see what I'm doing right here with my rasp. I'm backing up that toe. So what happens when they have had a keratoma and had it removed, and once you get all that hoof wall to grow out, there's still a scar there in the lamina, and the lamina have to heal up and reattach. And so with that scar there, it makes a weak spot in the lamina, and so with the leverage on the front of the foot, it stretches and pulls those lamina. So as you're getting these ready for a shoe, you got to back them up and bring them back into balance. Also, I'll add a modification on the shoe to help reduce that leverage on the lamina, and I'll show you that here in a second. As you can see, the shoe I selected here is just a store-bought egg bar shoe. And usually you use an egg bar for, or at least I tend to use them for more like tendon stuff. So I'm actually gonna take and make this egg bar into a little bit more of a straight bar, kind of bring that bar back underneath the frog a little bit. And I apologize, my camera got bumped a little bit, and so it's kind of angling down. When I was making this video, my head kept leaning up, trying to get the camera to go up, so I hope I didn't bother you guys too much with that. I do get it situated here in a second, so bear with me. But I think you can still get the general idea of what I'm doing here. As I'm shaping it here, I just kind of have the mental picture of what that hoof was shaped like in my mind and trying to put that shape in the shoe. And then right here, you can't see it because of the camera, but I put a rolled toe on it. Basically, you just take that hammer and beat down the steel on the toe just to help with breakover, take some stress off that lamina, like I said. And here I've showed it in some other videos. Because my camera got bumped, you can't see exactly what I'm doing, but head over and watch my mule video and I show what I'm doing there. And basically I'm pulling some source material for my clip, and I'm gonna go ahead and put side clips on this horse. The side clips, I like those for front feet just because they allow me to set the shoe back just a hair, but also on this foot because there's that area that's not attached real good and we've resected it out, making sure everything looks good in there. The side clips will help stabilize the front of that foot and make up for any integrity that was lost with resecting that foot. In terms of clips, I guess I'll kind of explain on the difference between a side clip and a quarter clip. A quarter clip is between the first and second nail hole. Side clips are between the second and third nail hole, usually on a store-bought shoe. Usually I put quarter clips on the hinds, side clips on the front, or a toe clip. You could use on either fronts or hinds if you wanted to. And I say usually, but usually I don't use them unless I need them, just because of the extra time and energy it makes to do it right. So I didn't show it because my camera had gotten bumped off, but I already burned the shoe on. And so what I'm doing right there, like I've showed previously, is I'm cutting out and making a spot for those clips. And what that does is, just so I don't have to burn it as long, I cut out part of that with my knife. So when I burn and seat those clips in the foot, I don't have to do it as long because I've already taken out some of the material with my knife. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm trying to get my foot level to my shoe. So back on the anvil, I try to get my shoe as flat and level as I can. And then as I burn it on the foot, it makes a perfect union between the foot and the shoe. And also I'm pulling back and getting that shoe set back just a hair, getting those clips nice and set in the foot. And I'm just blowing the smoke out of the way so I can see my fit. And remember, folks, for those of you that haven't seen that before, that does not hurt the horse. It can be compared to when someone curls their hair with a hot iron. You're just heating up the keratin. It's not live anymore. It does kind of look like it could hurt, but it definitely doesn't. And if it did hurt, the horse would not let me be doing it. So, and with my rasp there, I was just taking off all the sharp edges. I'm boxing it so to help the horse not pull it off. And also you can see there on the toe where I rolled the toe, I just took and made all that nice and smooth. The nice thing about shoeing with clips is you saw me hit, as I was putting the shoe on the foot, I hit it backwards with my hammer and it actually pops back into where those clips burned in. So that's kind of nice. I can kind of let go of the shoe once I do that. Sometimes I'll let it down and check my fit. That's kind of a nice part of shoeing with clips. It's not always worth the time and effort to do it, but if you do it, it's just a little side benefit. Makes it easier on the horseshoer. Lately I've been using number 5 combo slim blade nails, and I seem to be liking those. Just checking my fit here, making sure it still is where I want it to be. There's a little trick for you horseshoers out there. I'm definitely not the inventor of it, but was shown it by a different farrier. You just take and put a magnet in the back end of your nail and hammer, so if you drop a nail like that, you can just point it out there and pick it up. It saves you having to bend over a bunch or put the foot down, walk over, pick it up, and then have to pick the horse's foot back up. When I was shown, the guy used Bondo to put it in there. And so I did that, but the magnet kept coming out, and so I just took kind of like an industrial grade staple, a nice big staple, and just put a staple over the magnet in the back, and that's worked for the last 4 or 5 years. As you can see on this shoeing job, my nails aren't all in a line, which mostly is just for looks. Just makes the finished product look really nice. They don't have to be in a line, it just makes them look nice. They're still just as strong if they're not in a line. But I was kind of fighting some old nail holes in this foot. I couldn't get my nails to all line up and look pretty, which I was kind of bummed, but just part of the deal. It's hard to cover everything, so if I miss something, make sure and ask it down in the comments, or if you have a suggestion for me to help me make my videos better, feel free to let me know down there. And like always, if you leave a comment, let us know where you're from. Keeps us entertained as we're reading through the comments. There's another little trick of the trade. If you take one of those sanding blocks and just take your hoof conditioner and soak it into the sponge on the inside, makes it easy application. And it's a nice finishing touch on an already good looking shoe job. For educational purposes, I thought I'd point out one of the flaws of this shoeing job. You can see the clip there on the right where the white arrow is pointing. You see how the top of it's bent in? You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be more like this one on the other side, that's at the same angle as the hoof wall and sits flush with the hoof wall. That was just a mistake I made as I was fitting my clips. I bent it in a little too far and didn't notice until I was at this point of the shoeing job. It's still plenty functional. It'll still stabilize the hoof wall and it won't put any extra pressure right there because I did burn it in. It has a little space there to sit. It's just not appealing to the eye and not the correct way to be putting in clips. But okay guys, as you can see, I decided to put a toe clip on the other foot for no particular reason. Just didn't want that foot to feel like it got gypped. Okay, on this shoe we got our egg bar, born again straight bar with a rolled toe and some side clips to stabilize that foot. Okay folks, if you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe. And in the meantime, make the world a better place, and we'll catch you in the next video.